Well, is it as prevalent out there as we fear? For kids.
Unfortunately, I think that it is. And one of the things that I would say is that you're right. I'm not actually treating these kids, and that's not the where my expertise lies. But I think the numbers that we see here in, say, the report that you're describing, our interim drug report, and the deaths that we've seen here locally, this is the tip of the iceberg. I know that for sure. That there's much more drug use out there than just the ones that are causing death that we see. And because of all the medications that can be abused, and that's one of the things that really impacts you when you look at the report, there's so many drugs that we find that are causing death and that are potential problems out there, that I think all parents need to be vigilant. And you can't just assume that because your kid is a good kid and they're getting good grades and they hang out with the right people, that they're not going to potentially be exposed to these drugs somewhere. And so you need to be, as a parent, you need to be paying attention, and you need to be aware that no matter where they are, the best schools, hanging out in the best places, there's a potential for exposure to these drugs. They need to know how dangerous they are. And just because it's a pill that comes from a hospital or a doctor's office doesn't mean it's safe. And that you can't trust what's going to be in it just by that fact. And in fact, one of the things that we've seen recently, the makers of some of these illicit drugs are stamping them into pills to look like medications that came from a prescription. But
Wow.
they're actually illicit, like designer type drugs that are even more dangerous than the prescription pills. So you can't underestimate the potential risks that are out there of exposure to and then taking these drugs. So advice to parents: be vigilant, educate your kids, make sure they're aware of the dangers, and hope for the best.